kick off with a very brief recap of last week, which included swamps, more swamp, some roads, and swamp.
I love swamp.
So, you guys just recently had an encounter, as you might recall, with some ghostly apparitions that look like other adventurers, perhaps. And now you guys are awake. It is the morning, and it's still a little chilly, but Mount Darkus is pretty much looming over you to the south amongst the cold, and yeah, you're gonna make your way up. Or what are you gonna do?
Did we get a long rest? Did we get a long rest? Yeah.
I think we did get a long rest, didn't we?
I think we did get a long rest, didn't we?
Yeah, we engineered it for a long rest, and Counter didn't go long enough to really interfere with that, so you guys are technically known as good resting.
We said once we got to that bridge.
We said once we got to that bridge, we were going to try and fish
restock
and
on rations.
restock on rations in that way, like try and smoke some fish or things like that, because our rations were low, because we're having to split them with, I've forgotten her name.
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda. Yeah.
Some stuff. And we did do some foraging last time.
And we did do some foraging last time and seemed to be vaguely successful, which was good.
Yes, and you're doing your entire create water adventure as well, which is interesting. Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So liquid somewhere where we can fill our water skins,
right?
The water's flowing.
The water's flowing.
Yeah, so you've got the Tsolenka Pass, which is where you're sort of heading paralleling along to the river coming from the Lunar Lake. But Mount Darkus just does sharply rise, and it's quite cool. So semi-uncomfortable night, cool. But if you gained any more altitude, you're going to get quite cold. Like there's snow up the top. Like there's snow not too, a couple of 100 meters above where you are.
But we don't know exactly
where the Amber Temple is, do we?
We were going to hit the Tsolenka Pass. We were going to hit the Tsolenka Pass and see if we can find the pathway. See if we can find the pathway. And that's where we're going to get water and fish. And that's where we're going to get water and fish and whatever else.
But that's where we are, aren't we?
But that's where we are, and we were at that
sorry, let me
now
just
where
bring
we're
you
going
onto the
to
map. So you guys, I'm looking at the map.
I didn't think we were there yet. I didn't think we were there yet.
Okay, I thought there.
Oh, okay, I thought there at the end, the very last turn.
I think we just walked up from our...
Okay, sorry. For some reason I thought we were further along.
False memory.
Okay.
I don't know what it is with your Skype picture. It constantly resets itself, Maria. I don't know why. It's just you. No one else. Everyone else is fixed but you.
Sorry.
No, I don't know what it is.
I upgraded Skype
again recently. I did the whole upgrade thing.
I don't know. No, it's something to do with OBS. So anyway, that's alright.
I like Bern's cap.
Yeah, pretty cool, hey?
Yeah, looking at
Very Irish.
Yeah, very Irish, actually.
I have to hide my hair, like I said. I haven't swapped this afternoon, and it's very unkept, gamely. Unkept.
That's me most days.
I'm used to having a head now for 4 weeks, and now I'm at 13 weeks.
Yeah. Well, you can do what my husband did.
It's like you just give up when you're in lockdown for like 6+ months, and you just grow it out and steal your wife's hairbands.
I don't know if you've seen on Facebook, you get these t-shirts, it's like chaotic neutral, and it says, might save your life, might steal your wife. Oh, it's very
I
funny.
haven't seen that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, so shall I start?
Shall I start with a foraging for breakfast? I foraged last night, so we didn't need rations, but I could try foraging again.
I'll forage too. Yeah, I'll forage too.
In between us, hopefully.
Right.
Oh, well, that's not looking
Oh,
good. Okay,
well, that's
Wolf,
not
over
looking
to you
good.
for
Okay, Wolfroll, over to you to forage.
Lucky ear eats.
Lucky ear eats ash, hey?
Yeah. Yeah. Enjoying that. Should be enjoying that right now. Yeah. Yeah. I think you're trying it too.
So look, you find some insects and you find some.
This all about
You find some.
And I don't even have a plus. You guys need to get sharpen yourselves.
So Wolfroll finds some insects and a couple of sort of very small roots, like sort of in the growing in the undergrowth of the forest area that you're in. Meanwhile, Fisk sort of wakes up, sees 3 rabbits right in front of him. He looks at them, they look at him, and they seem quite shocked. And so, without any effort whatsoever, he just basically bags 3 rabbits.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I think you guys are pretty good for a hearty breakfast if you're going to take the time to stew, cook, or otherwise the rabbits. Or are you heading off?
Yeah, we'll roast.
Yeah. Start the day with a meal.
Start the day with a good meal.
Beg your pardon, so I need.
Yeah, we will. We're going to stew the rabbits and have a good meal before we set off.
That's about an hour and a half. And
We can throw in the insects we'll
We can throw in the insects that we found as well for a bit of protein.
fish flavour.
Well done, Fisk.
Well done, Fisk.
So your evening, your morning is relatively uneventful. But again, I just say that you're starting to you find until while the rabbits are stewing and cooking, and until you have them, you find yourself shivering a little bit in the cool morning air, because I don't think any of you have any kind of warm clothing. Is that correct?
Check.
I think we checked that.
Check.
I had a spare set of clothing.
I had a spare set of clothing. I just don't know if it was warm.
Those clothes. I
Those
have
clothes.
social outerwear.
I have social
That
outerwear.
sounds warm.
Yeah, that sounds real warm. Sounds about as warm as mine. I've got leather armour. Over my travelling bag.
Yes, surely that would be warm.
How many rabbits can we catch to make
How
a
many
few
rabbits
cloaks?
can we catch to
How
make
long
a few
do we need to
cloaks?
camp out for
How long
that?
do we need to camp out for that?
It's gonna be tough.
It's a tenuing process. That's the problem.
I don't suppose you got a spell for that, do
I
you?
don't suppose you got a spell for that, do you?
I think we are going to have to try and find it down.
I think we are going to have to
We're
try
gonna
and find
somewhere
sound,
to get
you know.
some
We're going to have to
clothes.
find some way to get some warm clothes.
we get to once we get to Tsolenka Pass, we can decide to be on the road. We can decide. Let's just get to that pass.
Yeah.
I feel we should have done a lot more stealing.
I feel we should have done a lot more stealing from Stride now, in hindsight.
Right, guys, so you can move 3 move 3 hexes. I assume you're going to continue along the Lunar River. Yeah.
So we're here, right? So we're close
So
to
we're
the
here,
bridge.
right?
Yeah,
So we're
you're
close to the bridge.
And let me just get So
Barovi.
There's not a lot around, is there?
There's not a lot around, is there?
Nothing.
We got nothing marked on the
so
map.
as you're walking down, you can see now that the cliffs rising sharply towards the dark rolling clouds to your right, about 100, 150 metres up, start to have snowfall and clearly ice. It is quite cold now. As you can see down to the right, it falls away into a sea of fog along the Luna River below this bridge that you're coming up to. Ahead through the wind and the sort of cold, you see a high wall of black stone lined with spikes and topped by statues of demonic vultures and horned heads. Set in the centre of the wall is a closed iron portcullis, behind which burns a curtain of green flame.
Sounds cool.
How's that? Is that?
So it's a castle.
It's a castle.
So, on the other side of the dark wall, gripping the mountain's edge, is a guard tower of white stone topped by golden statues of mighty warriors.
Sorry, what distance was that, Dunk?
Well, you're about 100 yards away, 200 yards away, say 200 yards.
Oh, really?
Okay.
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 So it doesn't show on the
So it doesn't show on the map. I was just looking at the Barovia map.
So that's on our side of the bridge.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's so we're near the bridge. We're near the bridge. The bridge crosses over, but to our left, up the hill a bit. That's that guard tower.
Are you saying it here?
Are you saying it's here? Is
Can you
that
not
it?
see it on the map?
No.
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 Yeah, you can see you can see the bridge there.
Yeah, see the bridge. Yeah, see the bridge.
Bridge.
So this bridge complex basically is
That entire structure is what you're saying it is.
yeah. So that you can't you can see the bridge as you come towards it. So you can see that there's a stone bridge with low walls. Where parts of the stone bridge have fallen away in a couple of places, but the bridge appears intact, right? And you're coming up, to the, to these arches, and you can see that one of the statues atop the arch that you're approaching is crumbled, leaving sort of only the hindquarters of the horse intact. And the mountain pass now continues. If you can sort of see on your map, you've got where it says the party. You can see there's like a sort of a ridge line in between the ridge line that runs to the southwest. So I'll just put that there for you.
So this one?
So this one?
Yeah, sort of runs like this. Yeah. So there's a mountain pass.
Yep,
Yeah.
that
So
one.
that's running up quite. It's climbing now, and it's quite. It's starting to. The image I showed you. There's sort of bit of sleet and that sort of stuff as you go past here. So it's quite cold.
Okay.
But it's
basically structures from the look of that picture. So we could go in and have a look and see if there's any warm clothes
You
lying
could
around.
go to So you could enter this structure that is on the eastern side of the Luna River, right? So it's like a guard house, right? It's like an eastern arch. And there seems to be like 10-foot square guard posts on either side of the bridge. But beyond that, to your further left, the pass hugs the mountainside for a couple of miles before branching north and south. But it's going up quite high, and there's mist, and you can see sleet ahead of you.
Okay.
So it kind of makes sense, doesn't it,
to go and see if there's anybody there?
Let's go and check it out. Let's go and check it out.
Because I think we're going to have trouble surviving otherwise.
Yeah,
Dunk will have us roll for frostbite, and within no time we're all dead.
I just do what rules is written.
I know.
Yeah, I think frostbite.
I see
frostbite in our near future.
Particularly as
Esmeralda's, because she's wearing less clothes.
Exactly.
Quite possible.
Hit the guardhouse.
Okay.
Do we want to send a sneaky one first?
Alright, so just let me bring you on to this map.
So the options are
we go all three
and
make ourselves very visible, or we send the sneaky one first,
and the rest of us hang
and the
back.
rest of us hang back.
What are the chances are
They're evil,
or at least unfriendly?
at least unfriendly.
Or the bard could go in to entertain them.
Sending the rogue,
We send the bard. Could do that.
So you guys, I'm about to bring you on. You guys are standing along a sort of, you've been sort of paralleling along, not quite a path, but you're about 500 feet up from the river now. Yep.
Yeah.
And so let me just bring you in. And so, like I say, it's a little chilly.
You said there was green.
There was green fire behind the portcullis.
Yeah. So that's So the portcullis isn't where you guys are. So let's just leave that at that. Otherwise, it's going to get too complicated. Otherwise, I'll have to change the map around.
I like that.
Okay. I like that map though.
Right. Yeah, so you're about where you guys are, you're about 500 feet up now from the river. So if you see each of those little contour lines and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're between 500 and 600 foot. So over here is where it's still 500 feet. So it's flat to there, but it's rising as it departs.
I think we just head there as a group to the end of the bridge.
Yeah. Box myself.
Considering they
look across, they would have seen us coming already, right? So there's no point in stealthing. Is that what we feel?
Yeah.
Okay. So that says Esmeralda,
That
right?
says Esmeralda, right?
Yeah, Esmeralda's. I've just moved her. Yeah. So as you come now, as you start to approach here, what you can see is that the bridge is a little clearer. There are no portcullis here, but there are 2 guard towers, 10-foot square, left and right. So.
Do they look occupied?
Do they look occupied at all?
Give me a perception check.
Well, hopefully I'm not doing
as badly as I am on survival. 20.
You certainly don't feel or seem like there's anything going on inside there. There's certainly no fire or anything from the angle where you are. Now, you're not looking down the bridge yet, but you can sort of see a little bit into the right-hand tower. You can see that there's a wooden door half ajar, but there's no light or any sign of recent life or occupation that you can tell at this particular point.
Okay, so I guess
we're just going to have to move up.
Knock on the door.
Okay, knock on the door, aren't we?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Getting ready.
Yep.
Okay,
Maybe we send the druid first.
It's not exactly pleasant, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
true.
So you can move. You can move 30 feet. Take 3 squares. Take an action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm going to go knock on the door that's half ajar. So
Okay.
this
As
one.
you come around the corner, what you see here in the middle of the bridge,
Yeah.
you see that the low walls that enclose the stone bridge have fallen away in a couple of places, but the bridge appears intact. However, dead centre across the Lunar River, a black cloaked rider on a charcoal coloured horse seems to guard the middle of the bridge.
A black cloaked rider.
Cloaked rider.
I raise
my arm
in hello
and call out
hail friend.
There's
To see if I get a response.
Okay.
Okay, shall we go a bit further?
Are you going to check in those rooms? I'm way back at the moment.
If the rider can see me and I can see him, I don't think I want to move into those rooms, but I'll move forward and approach the rider. And if you want to come up behind, and then you can sneak your way into the rooms.
Sure.
As you approach,
Yeah. Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm taking Wolfwell with me.
Uh-oh, that's big.
Hey,
Nice horse. Like, hello.
as you
Maybe I'll-
approach, you can see that the rider looks somewhat familiar, as does the horse.
Really? And do I in any way, or Wolfwell in any way, is this another perception? Hang on. Do we recognise them?
You do.
It's not.
It appears to be your previous dinner host.
Oh.
Really? Really? Strad, out in the daylight. Fancy that.
Is he looking at us?
Beg your pardon?
Is he looking at us?
The horse and the rider are just standing almost motionless in the middle of the bridge, but both their heads are orientated to the east, towards you guys.
Do you reckon it's a hologram? Of sorts? Probably.
He did say he was on hunters.
Yeah, it's a bit far from home though. Okay. I'll be like, hi, didn't expect to see you so soon. We've got a date for the wedding in what, 9 days? 8 days now? try to make some general small chit chat, see if he'll respond.
Where's my wedding countdown actually?
Yeah, I know, I've lost it as well. I think we're on, is it 8 days or 7 days now? I feel like, have you got a guest list yet? You know, anything you really want or need? Pick up along the way to bring to the wedding?
Excuse me.
Here it is.
Forgotten what
So-
those are called, Nikki.
Sorry?
What are those?
No, there are six more nights. 6 more nights until the wedding.
Okay. It's like a bridal
Yeah.
registry or something?
Oh, yeah.
There is no response from the rider and horse in front of you.
Mm. They like. It's the middle of the day, and he's sitting there. If it's him. Is this like the party we saw in the middle of the night? Just a
That's what I mean. Is it just a hologram?
Well, it's about 20,
Almost
25 feet
like
away
a
from
single.
you, Starfire.
Can I take a copper coin and throw it at them to see if it goes through it?
Sure, give me
or if
a-
it bounces off it?
Give me a
Athletics?
a ranged weapon attack.
Wait a minute. Let me see. Actions. I was looking at it's not an unarmed strike.
No, just any. Do you have any kind of ranged weapon?
Like dagger?
Yeah, throw a thrown dagger. Just do that. That's fine. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, you throw the copper. So make sure you remove the copper from your
Yep, will do.
your rounds.
From my list. So I will go and pick it up if it goes through him and he doesn't take it.
And as the copper hits the horse's sort of mane, sort of flies over and hits the back of the horse's head, the entire thing just starts to fall to dust and pour over the gap that's to its right as we look at it on the map. And the dust just sort of falls away, swirling into the mist 500 feet below. And your copper coin is sitting now in the middle of the bridge where they were.
I go back up
So you're
again.
going to go over and pick it up.
Yeah.
So move your icon across. Wolf, what are you doing? What was happening?
Follow Starfire.
That is a really interesting spell, though, hey? To just appear and then crumble like dust. Like dust
or like ash?
Like ash more, to be perfectly honest.
It's like
It's like, you know, when the vampires in Blade, like, Blade 2, when they break away, is it that kind of like light ash?
Is the ash still there on the bridge?
No, most of it is
Physical
all
ash.
basically blown away. Yeah.
it could have just been an
So
illusion.
it could have just been an illusion then, right?
Yeah. Can I do an arcana to see if I have any insight as to what sort of spell that was?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Could I just pause there while I come back to you with your arcana? Can I just check, please, what the rest of you guys are doing?
Fisk is sneaking into one of the into there.
You're sneaking into the hang on, move this down. Right. Okay, as you enter into there, you see that this it's pretty much disused. there's really just a little bit of detritus that is undiscernible. There's certainly no signs that it's been inhabited for any recent time whatsoever. There's some spider webs, but mostly just dirt and dust and grime.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll head across the other one as well.
Yeah, pretty much the same. And nothing of value or note.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I just get a perception check? So Wolf, as you're doing your Arcana check, you're looking around and you're sort of looking for, I guess, both inspiration and sort of calling to see if there's anything that you can perhaps think that might be of don't worry, hang on, sorry. And essentially, let's just see if this works. No. So as you're looking there, suddenly you see, out of the fog, diving towards the bridge, is a creature of unearthly size, a bird so monstrous that its wings blot out the very sky.
Coming at us. Ooh, yay. Ooh, yay. I've been wanting to see a larger creature for a while.
Is that a griffin?
Do I know what it is?
And so can I ask you all please to now roll initiative. Initiative.
Roll. Hey, we can tame it and ride it up to the Amber Temple.
Yeah, someone rolled a 1, that's helpful.
Sorry.
So you can imagine a really annoyed cockatoo coming down.
And
Bobby on steroids.
Bobby on steroids.
And it's pretty much coming towards you two on the bridge.
Cool.
So let me just roll initiative for the rock.
It is a rock.
Okay, I've got 2 fisks to the first cavern. I'll take you 22, Fisky.
On the turnover.
Hey? Yeah, I don't know why. I've got 2 starfires too.
I can't see myself rolled and I rolled a 19 on the chat.
Yeah, interesting.
I only rolled.
So I've got Esmeralda, I've got Wolfroll, I've got the Rock, I've got 2 Wolfrolls as well. What did you roll? Can you see yourself on there, Nikki? On the turn?
On the turn order, 14.
Yeah. Starfire, can you see yourself?
Yeah.
And did someone roll for ear?
No.
I can roll for
Yeah.
on her.
So,
18.
18. Okay, I'll add turn and 18. Okay.
Oh, but she went on the turn order and 0.
Okay, so
Oh, no,
at this
that's
stage then, Fisk, over to you.
I'm in one of these rooms. I've heard the ruckus. I'll come out and fire an arrow at that big bird.
Oh, don't make friends. Oh, don't I make friends with
So
them?
it's 90, it's 85 feet away, it's 90 feet away.
How far?
90 feet.
How far? So we had disadvantage.
Yeah.
So we had disadvantage.
Hmm.
Okay, you hit for 10 damage. Good work.
Does it look like it's coming? Does it look like it's coming to
Oh,
attack?
yeah, it kind of looks like it's coming down to attack.
Okay, that needs me.
Yeah. Okay, Esmeralda, what do you want Esmeralda to do? She is but your servant.
Does she have any spells?
Yeah.
She's a spellcaster, isn't she? What's she got? Any animal
Friendship.
friendship.
So, Esmeralda has the following: Clairvoyance, Lightning Bolt, Magic Circle, level 3. She has Greater Invisibility, level 4. Dark Vision, Knock, Mirror Image, Protection of Evil and Good, Magic Missiles, Shield, Mage Hand, Light, Firebolt, and Prestidigitation. Prestidigitation. What would you like her to do? She has a rapier, a silvered short sword, and a hand axe, which she can throw out to about 60 feet.
Do we know what do we know what prestidigitation? I can't say now.
Yeah,
Prestidigitation
yeah, you
does.
can create
Like
a
she
harmless
can.
sensory effect.
I-
You can instantaneously light or snuff out a candle, clean or soil an object no larger than a foot, chill, warm, or flavour up to 1 cubic feet of non-living material, make colour, create a non-magical trinket or illusionary image that you can fit in your hand and last until the end of your next turn. So it's just sort of trickery. Yeah.
It's not like It's not like conjure a picture of a dragon to scare the rock. Thanks.
So a stroke of
Thanks.
lightning forming a line 100 feet long and 5 foot wide blasts out from you in the direction you choose. Each creature in the line must make a dexterity saving throw, otherwise the creature takes 8d6 lightning damage on a failed save or half of much on a successful one.
I guess if we've got no animal friendship, shall we just get her to cast lightning?
What would you like to do?
What do we want to throw encouragingly at her?
Looks like she got something.
She casts lightning.
Yeah.
Third level or
We
fourth
just
level?
go kill.
She's only got one slot at fourth
let's
level,
go
but
third.
it's greater invisibility is her spell. What do you want her to do?
I don't know if we'd need invisibility. She says, probably regretting this later. I don't know. What do you guys reckon? Fourth level light?
Fry the bird. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Is she within range though? Hang on.
If it was 80 feet from us.
No.
Okay, come on guys, otherwise she's going to pass.
120 feet. 120 feet is the
That's
range.
100 feet. She
So
can
from where
cross
she
100
is,
feet range. So it's within range.
so it's the bird is. Yeah, it's just within range. Yeah, it's just within
5,
range.
4.
So yeah, go on, do it. Lightning.
I was thinking I was doing really well. Okay. Lightning bolt. So, let's do dexterity saving throw against DC 14.
Very effective. Very little damage. But little damage.
Right.
Her aim ran out of power. Ran out of power.
So the rock just sort of basically, as it's flapping in, she casts lightning. It just moves out of the way, but it's hit by it, but only just. So it takes 15 hit points damage.
So it's been singed. So it's been singed.
Just barely, really. It's a pretty bird. And with that, Ear. Ear is up. Who's driving Ear?
Nick, do you want to drive Ear?
Got her open.
Yeah.
What's she got here? What's she got here? Cloud of daggers. Cloud of daggers. Slash. Fill the air with spinning daggers. Fill the air with spinning daggers in a cube of 5 feet. Maybe not close enough. Maybe not close enough.
She is 75 feet. She's 75 feet. Really. So 80 foot, really. Is the range. Is the range.
Charm monster. Charm monster. Charm a creature you can see. Charm a creature you can see within range. Must make a wisdom saving throw, and it does so with advantage if you or your companions are fighting it. Is that? She's got to be within 30 feet. She's got to be within 30 feet.
She's too far. She's too far. Like we're not even close enough for that. We're not even close enough for that either.
I'm not sure she can do too much spell-wise without anything else there. From what I can see there.
She can always ask. She can always ask. I can't remember what range. I can't remember what ranged weapon she's got. Sorry, is that? Look it up.
Maybe she'll hold her spell. See if it comes close enough to do a charm monster.
We'll call out to Ear to come and join us. Call out to Ear to come and join us near the bridge.
She's thinking about doing that. She's thinking.
So what's she going to do? She's going to run and just run to the bridge.
I guess so.
And take no actions.
And
20, 30. So
and then stop.
So she moves 40 feet, expending her movement plus her actions, and orientates towards the rock. Okay, the rock now is flying in. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and it is now attacking Starfire with its beak.
That's a bit of things.
24 to hit with 29 piercing damage.
Ouch! That's really painful.
It then reaches to grab you, Wolfrol. $33
Jesus Christ.
with 24 plus 11, so 35 damage, and you are now grappled in its claw.
I have a plan.
And you're in its claw.
Wolfrol,
I'm going to.
you can try and escape, but you're grappled, and you need to do an escape. And I'll let you do either athletics or acrobatics to try and get out of its grip.
Can I wild shape while I'm doing that, or do I have to escape this group to change form?
Very good question. I'm going to say you have to. I'm going to let you try to escape its grip this turn, and then wild shape. Because I'm going to say that's your instinct to try and wriggle out or push out, and then allow you to wild shape once you release.
Did you say athletics?
Athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
I'll go athletics, I think.
Right. So, not much happening there. Okay. Starfire.
Okay, well, given it's right next to me and it's holding wolf roll, I'm going
Wolf
to
been
have
picked up.
to
So it's
stab it.
snapped at you and it's grabbed Wolf, so it's in the air above you.
Oh, how high up?
Big pardon?
How high up is it in the air above me?
Oh, it's just there. Wolf's just being picked up, so you can do something in this turn. No, yeah. Like
So I
Wolf's
can
just
quickly
there.
pull out my short bow and
Yeah.
strike the rock
Yeah,
to try
and
and
do
get
3
it
hit
to drop
points
wolf roll.
damage. No, that's fantastic. Three is great.
Yeah.
No, that's
Shut
cool. I go from 223 minus 3 to 220. That's great.
Thanks.
No problem. Anytime. Minus 3. There we go. Cool. Fisky, we're back to you. You're seeing Wolf's been grabbed and the rock has now gripped his talons around it and is about to continue on flight across down the Lunar River.
I'm going to attempt to shoot at it, so it's probably going to be a disadvantage.
Oh, that's a hit. And you do
That's
33 hit points damage
Into
into the talons. Yeah.
I pick 3 and you do 3 and you do 33. This is like, you may as well just give up on my short bow.
Shouldn't target someone else's weapon.
Esmeralda. What's Esmeralda going to do?
Skilled.
She's cast 1 at 4th level.
She's closer now as well, isn't she? So I reckon Esmeralda just tries again, 3rd level, lightning.
Lightning bolt 3rd level.
You reckon? Nikki? Burning? Lightning?
No, my doesn't.
Try me.
Would just say try and lightning. Sorry, Ben?
This doesn't understand magic. I'm not sure what you should do.
Okay. Let's just go lightning again. Lightning always seems to do decent damage in the past, you know?
Okay.
Woohoo! Go Esmeralda.
Right, fantastic. So it takes 19 damage. And can I just get a dexterity saving throw from you, please, Warful? Yeah, you take 38 hit points of lightning damage.
Ooh. Damn it.
Fuck. How long have you been playing D&D? Jesus! DMs don't kill characters. Characters kill characters.
I just figured optimistically, how would she fail that? My optimism bias
Are you
is
conscious,
the
Warful,
negativity
or are you
bias.
now unconscious?
I'm now unconscious. I have an inspiration pack sitting there from a long
Well,
time
you
ago.
can spin that and roll again if you wish.
Yeah, try that.
Oh, that cannot be right.
Right. Excellent.
The
The gods,
algorithm.
the gods of the algorithm have spoken. All right. Yeah.
How close is Ia? She's pretty close. Shall she do the charm monster now to try and bring Wolford?
Close enough. Charm monster.
Or she could do healing word, right, and try and heal Wolfroy. Could she do healing word works at that distance, doesn't it, Dunk? 60
Yeah,
feet.
sure does. She's right there.
And does she get two actions? Sorry, I was just checking her sheet.
Yeah, but
Probably
spells
better to
don't
heal.
count as two actions. Like, yeah, you can't. You can do I think a cantrip and an action, but not a spell.
It's probably better if she's unconscious to heal her, right?
And she can cast. She can cast healing word at 5th level. Which will do 5d4 plus 3.
Yeah, I reckon healing word 5th level to get as many hit points back. Because whatever we do to bring the rock down, except for Charm Monster, is going to possibly hit Wolfroy.
17 hit points back. You gasp! The pain and the talons stuck into you still, but you gasp back from the darkness as you regain 17 hit points, Wolfroy. And with that, the rock.
Yeah.
I don't understand why the rock is taking Wolfroy. Is it to defeat its young?
Probably. So she's flying over me. Is that correct? Can I do something while it's flying?
Well, it's your turn, which is now. If there was ever a point in the entire campaign about your continued involvement, Nikki, this is probably it.
I'm going to try my combat wild shape into a rock, which I've now seen up close and personal.
So, what is the? Is there any limitations on the challenge rating of the creature?
Oh.
Let's just read this.
It's a bloody great idea, though. Come on, Dunk.
When using your wild shape feature, you can transform into beasts of CR1 or lower.
Yeah, this is CR11.
Oh.
Does that mean you could turn it into something really small and slip out of its claws, but then die in the river below?
Probably.
Yeah, I was thinking as a mouse.
In that case, I think I'll go with one of my cantrips, maybe. I'm going to do a thunderclap.
Oh, fuck me. Alright. Nikki, just stop. Think this through. If you wild shape into a CR1 creature you have seen, what have you seen that would be the best form to take that would be both small and able to not fall 500 feet.
I'm just worried it will physically kill me if I turn into something small.
Well,
Because I'm in
a
a
raven.
Yeah.
Is a raven faster than a rock, though? Would a raven outfly it, like in terms of speed? Maybe.
What about
Or a bat.
Maybe a bat. I've seen a bat.
But you've seen a raven as well. The ravens at the vineyard. We'll be shouting encouragement from the sidelines.
I just feel like I'm the clap it, I'll go plummeting to the ground with it.
Yeah. We don't want you to die.
So bat is challenge rating 0.
Oh, right. We've got a raven.
Where do you even find that challenge rating stuff, Dunk?
I'm a DM. That's not my job. Don't let it
No,
go.
I was just saying you do it. I was just
Now
like,
a
where do you
raven,
find
a
it?
raven flies faster than a bat.
I think I'll go a raven. I've seen a lot of them.
I think I have to go back to my monster manual and have a look at their challenge ratings. I just don't remember it.
And if I break free of it, I'm going to head straight for under the bridge.
Yes, I know.
So you wild shape. So Nikki, I want you to do an acrobatics or an athletics at advantage, please.
Okay.
So you get another roll at advantage. Struggling against it, you suddenly wild shape. The talons let loose. You see an opportunity and you fly down. And in your new form as a raven, you make it
Yay!
to just here. Just here. In fact, you're diving around that tower. You're about 6 or 7 foot above the ground. You're desperately trying to get under that tower. And that is where we will leave your turn for the moment. Starfire!
I was going to try and take shelter, but I wanted to just ask you quickly, was the green fire up this end of the bridge?
No, forget about the green fire. You can't see it. It's not at that end of the bridge.
Okay, but I can move.
So what you can see down there is the 2 statues of armoured knights on horseback with lances charging towards one each other, and the wind bites and howls like wolves as it passes through the gorge.
That's okay. And when we were coming up to the castle, did I notice any arrow slits or anything?
It's not a castle, it's just a... Yeah. So further to the south, you can see a gatehouse and a tower. Alright, further, well, not to the south, to the west on this map. Yeah, cool.
Okay, so I'm going to make a run for it because I want to see if I can, like, shoot from an arrow slit or something in the towers. But take shelter.
Which towers are you going for?
I was going to try these ones.
Right, okay. You hadn't seen any arrow slits, but that's cool. So you can move, you can run 60 feet, so 6 squares, and take no action. Or go 3 and take an action.
No, I'm just going to go suss these out and see if there's any way I can find a better spot to fire at the rock.
Right, you burst into the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And suddenly you realise that before you is, and with that we'll come back to you, and Fisk.
Oh.
What's the rock doing? Is it continuing on or is it circling
Well,
back?
at the moment it's still flying up, and you've just seen at the same time you've just seen Wolfall shape change and get out of its claws and fly down, pretty much disappear behind your view now. You're not sure where Wolfall is as a raven. But yeah, you can still see the rock. Yeah.
I've just moved up to the entrance. I've just moved up to the entrance to one of those open gates. I'm not going to fire. I'm not going to fire because I don't want to encourage the rock to come back unnecessarily. I'm going to keep it as sharp behind it as necessary. I can duck in the little alcove.
So you're taking no action.
Taking no action. Taking no action.
Okay, Esmeralda. What's Esmeralda doing?
I think she's going.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was just going to say, assuming she's seen me run for cover and Fisk is ducking behind cover, she's probably...
I haven't ducked behind cover. I've just moved close to the door.
You get it close to cover. Maybe she'll probably move back towards Fisk,
Okay,
you
so
think?
she moves back towards Fisk and just sits there and sort of gets around the corner and observes the rock. Yep. Yeah, what's he going to do? She's in the middle of the bridge, exposed.
Run.
She is going to make it to the other side of the bridge. She's going to run towards Starfire.
Yeah. She can make it this way as well.
Yeah,
She'll get here.
Okay, she runs like crazy.
Okay.
The rock suddenly, as the creature changes in its very talons and disappears, and like it's confused, it doesn't know what's going on. There's this massive, and then it begins to turn around. Flies, does this big circle round and comes back in, and it's now coming back across the bridge. Wolfram, what are you doing now? You can fly 50 feet, 5 squares, and still take a turn.
Sorry.
I can fly. Did you say 50 feet and still take a turn? And are these 10 squares 10 feet each? Okay, I'm going 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to land on Esmeralda's shoulder at this stage.
Right.
See what happens
Okay,
next.
Starfire, your turn. You're in the room as you burst in. You sort of like, you're looking around and you see that this has been occupied recently.
Okay.
You see that there is some form of sleeping attire, some form of clothing, and some form of backpack. In fact, you quickly scan, you see there's like 3 sleeping positions here, or 3 like abandoned like sleeping positions.
So 3 like bedrolls, you're saying?
There's 3 bedrolls, quite thick. There's some clothing. There's one backpack, and there's a water skin, and there's some very sport rations as well.
So how many rations? Just so I can take them down.
How many rations?
Yeah.
They're spoiled.
Oh, spoiled. Sorry, I didn't catch that. And it's spoiled rations.
Yeah. So there's two water skins, and 3 bedrolls, and 3 sort of quite heavy, sort of wintry coats.
Okay, that's useful then. Okay, I will put the water skins into the bag of holding.
And that's it for you, right? So, Fisk, what are you doing? 6-second turns, we'll come back to you. You're grabbing water skins.
Yeah, how far away is the rock? You know? How far away
Well,
is the
as
rock?
far away as you can measure it yourself. 70 feet.
I can't see anything. I can't see it, so I'm assuming I can't see it, so I will go into the, not seeing anything, go into the in and unride.
Esmeralda. A raven lands on her shoulder. She's like, ah, fuck! And let's just do a quick check on Esmeralda's wisdom. She realizes, she goes, Waffle, is that you? And then she ducks into the opposing room from Fisk with Waffle on her shoulder. Yeah. Anyone doing here?
Ia is waiting for the rock to come closer into range.
And she's going to try to use the
charm monster if it does come close enough.
30 feet.
Yeah, it's only 30
30
feet.
feet.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So she's remaining outside the guard tower, and she sort of moves a little bit further up so she can observe the rock. Okay, the rock now itself. Flying, squawking, there's this ear-piercing scream. Those of you who have met my cockatoo and know exactly how loud Bob can be, know exactly what this sound is.
Oh yeah.
As he squawks, 5, 10, 15, 30, flies over the bridge, screaming with frustration and anger as it's beginning its turn back up towards the east and up towards Mount Carcass. Awful.
Well, I'm going to wait another turn in Raven Farm.
Starfire.
I'm just going to call out to Ear and say, oh, come across here. There's a few cloaks. I'm ignoring the rock.
Okay, so you pick up the water, pick up 2 additional water skins, and you now have 3 quite heavy wintry coats that would provide appropriate and relevant protection for a medium-sized creature in this minus 23 degrees that you're about to go into.
Okay.
3.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I want to go look at the room that Ear's in as well. I want to go look at that as well.
That's next turn. So, Fisk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just fighting in the
Okay, Esmeralda.
my turn done.
She's going to search this room.
I've already said.
Esmeralda looks around and she just sees nothing but sort of, bit of dust and what probably is feces of some creature in the corner. It's pretty. There's nothing much in here. Yeah.
Right.
He is going to search that room.
Moving in, she finds another 3 bedrolls, 3 water skins,
Yeah.
and 3 coats hanging up. on wooden pegs nailed into the masonry of the room.
What size? What
Medium
size?
sized cricket.
I'm guessing Starfire doesn't fall into a medium. Would Dragonborn count
No,
large?
Dragonborn would be medium.
Okay. I'm just trying to get a feel for
Yeah, medium's like,
Okay.
yeah, like a gnome is small, a halfling is small, but most other creatures are medium in terms of
So
this.
we're going to bring Fisk's cloak then. Otherwise he'll be dragging on the ground. Otherwise he'll be dragging on the ground.
Potentially.
Fisks will need some alterations. Okay. And you said there was a backpack as well? You said there was a backpack as well in this room?
Yeah.
Or no backpack?
But that's not your turn yet. The
No,
rock.
that's okay. I'm just checking. No, that's okay. I'm just checking.
The rock continues to fly around and circling around the tower. Wolfroll, your turn.
I think I better turn back into my druid self. My usual form. I think I get that as a bonus action though.
So what else would you like to do?
Heal myself. Would be a good idea, I think.
Okay.
So I'm still in pretty bad shape.
Try and use the statue.
Another 17
to do some healing with.
70 hit points of healing for you, Wolfroll. And with that, Starfire, what do you want to do with the statue?
I'm just going to see if I can do Cure Light Wounds on myself first to see if it works. Because I haven't used it before, right?
What do you mean, Cure Light Wounds and stuff?
Yeah, because it's just by touch.
I didn't realise you lost hit points. Oh, you did too. You got bitten. That's right.
Yeah.
So you're doing Cure Light Wounds through the icon of Ravenloft, is that right?
Yeah, I was going to say, because I haven't used it at all, so I thought, well, I might as well see if it works.
So I'm giving you 6 hit points back.
Great, it does work, okay. Thank you.
Fisky.
Still need a
Fisky's staying put at the moment. Range of that rock.
Esmeralda.
How far away is the rock? I can't see it on the screen. I can't see it on the screen,
Yes,
so it must be
because
quite far.
Esmeralda's in a room. So does she want to move out of the room to see if she can see where the rock is?
That's true. It's over hiding.
Can we hear it?
Oh yeah, it's pretty
Does it sound
It's like, I can go get Bob actually, and he does a pretty good interpretation of a rock.
It is like Bobby. It is like Bobby.
Except he's had some classic fails lately. He's like suddenly back into flying, but like he doesn't realise he doesn't actually fly anymore, doesn't control planet. So like I'm taking him towards this tree the other day where he sits at work, and it's like next to the Brisbane River, and like he like takes off and he's like he's trying to aim for this sort of the V in the branch of the tree, except he can't get the altitude, so he just totally goes punk into the trunk and falls down. It's like I'm pissing myself laughing. It's like hopeless. Anyway, but the other day, I went to go get him, and he's like taken off out towards the Brisbane River. He's like flying towards the river, and he realizes, oh, this is fucking bad. And at the Navy base, there's like a wharf, and he like does a hard right turn, loses altitude, dips his ass into the water, and that's the last I see of him. So I'm sprinting to go get him, and like I get to the wharf, to the wharf thing, and I'm like, I can't see him. And I thought, oh fuck, he's gone underwater. He's fucked. He's gone. But there he is. Like I get in my hands, and he's look under, and he's like clinging to a rope on a buoy that's just tucked in underneath it. He's like, holy fuck. So he like nearly, I put the stick down, and he like jumps on. And he's like, oh, that's fucked. I'm not ever doing that again. So, oh, crazy.
Do you think Bobby's got dementia?
Do you think Bobby's got
No, I just think he's just into flying at the moment. The other morning he took off and he's flying. He's trying to get up to like about a metre high garden bed. And again, he's like taking off and he's just like boonk, and it's falling on his ass. His tail's underneath. He's like falling on his back. He's just maybe he does have dementia. Sounds like
getting on?
he's
getting on a
little bit.
Well, he's
getting
52,
on a
but they
little
can live to 100. So. Anyway, okay, back to Esmeralda. What's she doing?
Maybe she could be our scout.
Maybe she could be our scout.
Yeah, I think she's going to. Scope out where the rock is without putting herself.
Okay,
too
so
far
she
out
moves
there.
across.
Can she see it? I asked her.
She calls out. She
I
says,
asked her, can you see it?
it's about 800 feet away, up in the air. It looks like it's coming back around for another run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He is still waiting to charm it if it comes within 30 feet of her.
Alright, any other actions for you?
Maria?
I don't know. It's like if the rock's on its way back, do you want ear to sort of stand at the door and just wait for it to get close? It's that whole thing of how far away.
It's nerve-wracking.
It's nerve-wracking because I don't want to cause Ear's sudden demise.
She does.
But you know where it's like she does need to actually exit the room to see it, to charm it.
Yeah, it's a bit close, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit close, isn't it? 30 feet.
Yeah.
And if it goes horribly wrong, that's it. It's done, right? So should we just play the waiting game and just decide that this is where we're going to long rest? And we'll just have a nice long rest, and the rock will get bored and wander away. No.
I feel it's a bit risky if we leave her there.
It's a bit risky if we leave her there.
Yeah.
It's a charm. Stuff.
I'm thinking I'm going to cast a ranged spell on it. If I step out and it's close enough. Still within 100 feet or less.
So what's Ian going to do? Step out and have a look for it?
She's ready to dive back in the door. Comes
So Ian steps out and goes there. She looks up and she sees that about 150 feet away is the rock. What's he want to do?
So it's on the other side of the bridge from her.
Yeah. Can you see on the map?
I can. Yeah. She'll sort of show herself and then duck back into the room.
Okay, the rocks go. the rock is coming back in for another pass, and it's sort of going almost directly towards where Ear just popped out, as it was caught by its attention. And it does nothing else at this particular point. Wolf, what would you like to do?
I'm going to step out the door, and I'm thinking to do a display. That was meant to be a display. Some casting moonbeam at it. If it's within 120 feet.
So you're casting Moonbeam, and this is 16.
Sorry, I rolled display, which is what I actually meant.
Okay, and you do 33 damage to it. Boom.
That's good. That's good.
That's very well done.
That's very well done.
I'd forgotten you had
Moonbeam.
that.
I'd forgotten you had that.
No, you used it on the werewolves, didn't you?
No, you used it on the werewolves, didn't you?
Yeah, it worked well on them. It's not a shape-changing rock.
Yeah.
It's not a shape-changing rock. Turning back into a
Okay,
person.
Starfire, what are you doing?
I'm
A lousy shot.
a lousy shot,
I
but
will step
I
out.
will
briefly
step out
and do a
briefly
quick
and do a quick
check and see it's very
check
close
and
and
see
50
it's
feet
very
away from
close
you.
and duck back in again.
What are you going to do?
ducked out, had a look, went that's
Ducked
too
out,
close,
had a
ducked
look,
back
went
in again.
that's too close, duck back in
Right,
again.
that's it, so there's you go. Right, okay, Fisky, what are you doing?
Just staying
Yep.
put.
Okay,
Just staying put.
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda might give it a
She
lightning
moves
bolt.
to here. She stays there, and she's going to lightning bolt it. Oh, nice. Right, let's roll Esmeralda for the lightning bolt. And she is 1, 2, so this is, so she has one spell slot for this left. And she casts lightning bolt for 30 damage, and the rock does its saving throw. And fails and takes 30 hit points damage. Kaboomski! The rock is like cinderized. Good on Esmeralda. Okay, yeah. What's she gonna do now?
How badly damaged is the rock looking?
Who's asking?
Yeah, because it's charged.
He is inside a building, looking at sleeping bags and warm coats.
Oh,
she
I
moves
thought she
it.
had line of sight to where she was though.
No, you moved the back in.
Looking.
She ducked back in.
She's just outside, right?
Yeah, so she was. Then you told me she went back inside. So now she's going back outside. She's looking at the rock.
Yeah.
The rock has got some cindering smoke coming off its feathers, but otherwise it looks pretty fucking intimidating. What would you like to do? I mean, Bobby is this big, and I've seen grown men run and jump up on tables because Bob's going for them. So, you know.
Yeah,
That's fair enough. So with Bob.
So what's she gonna do? Yeah.
She is
30 feet.
ducking back into her room. It's not within 30 feet, is it?
Yeah, it looked like it was within 30 feet of here. So it's
Okay. Well, if we did say it was within 30 feet, she'd try the
Charm monster.
monster.
Okay. Give it a go. Right, can you click on the spell details, please? Okay. She feels like it's changed its entire attitude. The rock is now having its go, and it lands on the bridge and fluffs its feathers and looks towards Ia. And instead of squawking with some sort of hysterical scream, goes, Wolfrock, you'll go.
I think I'll observe at this point. I don't really want to.
So you're going to move out of the room to observe?
I'll just slightly, enough that I can see.
Okay. Starfire, you're in the room. You have no idea what's going on.
No, I'll do what I did before and I'll stick my head out and I'll have a look and try and I see Ia there and I look at the rock and I'm like, did it work? Is it charmed? What's going on?
Fisk, what are you doing?
I was going for.
Right. Esmeralda,
She's staying put too.
yeah.
Yeah. He is going to try to call it over to her. Because she feels like the spell worked.
The rock begins to move and just gets pretty much up and friendly with Starfire and Ia. And it's like twisting its head down and it's like,
He will give a little scratch from the ear.
it's pretty fucking huge, so you will give it a very little scratch. Morphle, you'll go.
I'm going to breathe a huge sigh of relief. Keep watching. Keep watching.
And Starfire.
I'm just gonna go back in. I'm just gonna go back in and start packing up stuff and go. Oh, I've got a bedroll for all of us here. I think we should just stock a back here. Do you reckon that rock could take all 6 of us on its back?
Fisk,
Won't be taking me. Won't be taking
what are
me.
you doing, Fisk? You're still in the room?
I was going, yeah.
Okay, Esmeralda.
You could take his name.
Well, Ia could do a flight on the rock and find out where the Amber Temple is so we have an idea where it is and then come back. The spell lasts for an hour.
Go, Ian. Is she going to try that? Should we take a vote, seeing as she's not here?
Yeah, Burn gets final say.
I'm not playing it. That's right. What can I see? What do I know? I'm stuck inside.
Alright, Ia's turn.
Seems like a good idea to try. She sort of edges over to it to see if it seems willing to let her mount it. But she's watching very carefully to see if it reacts badly.
It doesn't particularly seem keen to let her mount it. It's sort of moving along the bridge. It seems more just intent on, like, you know, sort of playing with her or getting her attention.
Okay.
Does she want to do anything else?
Maybe she could convince it to fly away and have a nice long nap. I don't know. How does Charm Monster work? It just says friendly to you. It doesn't say you can direct it.
She's just got disguise herself. She can make herself look different. She can make herself look like a small rock.
Oh, that could be even worse if it takes her. Sticks her in a nest. Tries to feed her.
She has one more go at Mounting it carefully. She's going to use animal handling. Try to overcome its shyness.
Surprisingly now, it subjugates itself to her, and if she wants to, she can climb onto its back.
She wants to.
Yeah.
Does she do that?
Yes.
At the end of her turn, the rock and ear take flight.
We're going to be in so much trouble.
And it takes flight up the mountain. And with that, we're finishing turn order. And ear disappears into the fog.
Well,
Hopefully
hopefully
she'll turn
and
over and come back and tell us where the temple is.
So, what do you guys want to do?
Call out to the others and just explain what happened for a start. And just that is having a nice ride on the rock, and hopefully she'll figure out where the Emma temple is on Mount Garcus, and get the lay of the land and come back soon, we all hope. And I'll just say that there are 6 heavy bedrolls which are suitable for winter, and 6 cloaks as well in these towers. So we have some winter gear, which is great, which will help us, and also a number of water skins as well.
So,
Fantastic.
And a backpack. So Esmeralda can now carry stuff. So we can use the empty backpack to fill with water, and yours stays dry.
Oh, that's good.
So do that as well. That will be
alright, so
helpful.
do you all move down to those particular towers, or what are you doing? You're moving the cloaks back up to the guys on the eastern side, or are you staying the western side Starfire?
So
our current bedrolls, are they thin or thicker?
They're quite thick.
Are they the same?
Quite thick.
Ours are,
I beg your pardon. Your current ones
so ours
are thin.
are thin.
are thin.
Yeah,
And the ones in the towers are thick, right? So we should swap out the bedrolls. Yeah. So we all should take the heavy bedrolls. So I'll call them down so we can pack up the kit between us.
Right, so Esmeralda moves down. Anyone else move down and starts packing and getting themselves prepared for the winter, well, not the winter, but the cold onslaught that is up front of you.
Yeah.
Fierce?
And we'll get us ready for ear too, unless she took them with her.
No, we'll take ears. I've only got like a normal bedroll, I guess, so it's just adding.
Yeah, so you should be able to add, I think, winter clothes. I think there is actually a winter clothing.
Is it not coming up? It should be under common, right?
Clothing, cold winter, it's called. The outfit consists of a heavy fur coat or cloak over layers of wool clothing, as well as a fair fur-lined hat or hood, goggles, and fur-lined boots and gloves. As long as cold weather remains dry, it's where automatically succeeds on saving throws against the effects of extreme cold, which are pretty bad, by the way. So you should be able to all add that to everyone's character sheet. And I will just automatically update your sleeping rolls to being the thicker, warmer ones that you're carrying.
Sweet.
Does everyone take one of those?
Yeah.
Yes, what are you doing, given your size and everything?
Take one of the bed rolls. I'll just make do with it.
Yeah, and what about that cloak?
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can adjust it in some way.
Okay. So you cut it. Can you just give me a could you give me a survival check actually?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So it's pretty fucking difficult. Your winter gear is not looking particularly good. So you've tried to cut it, but now you think it maybe might be too short.
Okay.
We could always try
and sew bits on again.
There were 6.
Yep.
There's a silver dragon.
I don't actually need a cloak because apparently I'm immune to cold, so I could give you mine.
And you could have another go at it.
I'm just looking something up at the moment.
Can you sew? Maybe
Maybe just sew on.
I've got Tinker's tools, proficiency, Tinker's tools. I don't know if that amounts to something.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. Give it another go with Tinker Tools. On another cloak, you've ruined one.
You can take
You
mine.
can take mine.
And I'll carry
ears.
I'm not sure if Ian
put hers on before she got onto the
She
rock.
did not.
I'll take ears then. I'll have
ears in my stomach and I'll give it to her
once she comes back
with the rock.
Yes. You've fashioned a perfectly fitting set of winter clothing now for yourself. Surprisingly. So, do you all now get changed into the winter clothing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Starfire, you've got cold resistance. Do you get changed into it?
Well, I'll put the coat on because I'll need to carry it for Ia, so it's probably easier to just wear it at the moment, right?
Yeah. Wolfrock.
Yes, I'm going to change into mine, and I'm also going to give myself a bit more healing. And
Okay.
there's still a fair bit of the day left, isn't there?
Yeah, there sure is. Yeah. You're only coming up the last time.
Is everyone else okay? Are you healthy? Is everyone else looking healthy?
If we stay here for a long rest, right? Then we can just long rest and get the hit points back. Because I mean, Dunk, what time of day is it now?
What time of day is
About
it now?
lunchtime, about midday.
We're waiting for Ia anyway. We're waiting for Ia
We do have
anyway.
to wait for Ia,
We
so
do
we
have
may as
to
well
wait
just
for
long
Ia,
rest.
so we may as well just
Spend the
long
night
rest
here.
and spend the night here.
At least we've got shelter before we hit the
Got
mountain
shelter
pass.
before we hit the
And we could
mountain
always go and
pass.
scrounge
We
for
could
some
always
more
go
food
and scrounge for some
We
more
said we'd
food
try
and
and catch
stuff.
some
We
fish
said we'd try and catch some fish and smoke some fish so that we had extra
Isn't there a
rations.
castle up the hill from here? Castle up the hill from here, though?
No, down the hill, down to
Is
the
there
west.
down the hill?
Yeah.
Down the
Yeah.
hill. Signs
Oh,
of
how far
much on this road, on this road, between
Give me
the
a
castle
perception
and the
check.
bridge.
I forgot there was a castle.
Yeah, there is very little traffic. In fact, you see no sign of movement other than your own footprints in the ice and the wet.
And how far is that castle?
It's not really a castle, it's more just a tower.
Okay.
But it is, well, let's just check.
Is that where the green glow is? That where the
It's
green glow
150
is
feet
coming
away from
from?
you to the south.
Okay, so
Or
we
not
could
the
go
south,
down.
sorry, the
Okay,
west,
so we could
because
go
this,
down
this
to the
map's,
tower.
the bottom of the map is west.
Okay, so we could go to the
Okay,
tower.
so we
in fact,
could go to the tower and
people
check
and food
for people and food and
rations. So otherwise,
rations. Because otherwise, we're going to have to try and
fish
get
do
down to the
things
river
like
and
that
fish and do things like that ourselves.
Maybe it'll give us a safe. Maybe it'll give us a safe place to stay for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Otherwise, this is
could do.
out for
Otherwise,
a
this
long
is
rest to get
out for a
points
long
back.
rest to get our hit points back.
How long does animal handling
How long
normally
does
last
animal
for,
handling
Dan?
normally
Flat
last
hour.
for, Dan? Because I'm assuming E is going to do a very good
Yeah,
flight where
sure.
she can still
Flat hour, flat
control
hour.
the rock and come back.
So this is, you've spent about half an
Okay.
hour doing what you're doing now, so, so as you all sort of are just sorting yourselves out, Fisk has been, mending or adjusting two coats. You've all got your coats on now. What I want to do is just on your character sheets. I need you to manually adjust your Constitution scores down by 1.
Oh,
Oh,
Wow. Is that from the cold? Is that from the cold?
it's going to be from the coats,
it's
isn't
going to
it?
be from the coats, isn't it?
Pretty handy to find 6 coats
Damn it.
in a tower just before you need them.
It is.
It is.
And all of you don them without question.
I know. I was thinking at the time.
I was thinking at the time, do I do an Arcana check? And I was like, no, don't be paranoid.
And Burns, welcome to the dark side.
It was cold. It was cold.
Well, you're warm,
Yeah.
but I need you to reduce your Constitution by 1. There is always a cost. And
Is that a permanent change? Is that a permanent change? Is that? Oh,
Damn it.
Damn it.
how do I do that? How do I do that? Override score? Override score?
Yep.
At least it was a worthy thing.
At least it was a worthy
Go
thing
come to the dark side
to Luke go
for
come to the dark
freeze
side
to death
for
or
this.
warm.
Freeze to death or warm.
Yeah, because, the freezing to death thing is that, it ends up in death after 6 fails of saving throws. So, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it's a choice.
You're correct. You're correct.
You all notice that the coats that you're wearing are a little tighter and a little greyer.
Okay.
Okay. I knew I should have stuck ears in the backpack. I didn't need it. Anyway, bollocks.
I can take the coat off, cloak off.
Is that what Fist tries to do?
Yeah,
No, stuck
Being
eye.
wrong.
He sort of goes.
If I've noticed something odd,
If I've noticed
Yeah.
something odd, something about the clothes, something unsettling,
then it would be his normal
then
reaction
it would be his normal reaction to shake it back off.
Yeah. Can you give me a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not sure whether it's the cold or suddenly the sort of dark thoughts that have entered upon you and, the fact that you feel like a little weak. you don't seem to be able to get it off, and you sort of feel a little tired now, and you're sort of leaning up against the wall, and you sort of just kind of lose interest in taking it off. Suddenly there's a chirpy squawk, and surprisingly, a rock lands on the bridge, and Ia dismounts. The rock then takes flight back up the mountain and disappears from your view.
She look okay. She look okay.
Ia does not look okay. Ia has incredibly blue lips. As she dismounts, she collapses onto the bridge.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Let's go help her.
Yeah. I'll go over. Yeah. I'll go over, and I've got another charge in my icon of Ravenloft. So I can do that. For some reason, why is that not? Is that displaying?
Yeah. Ia sort of responds to what you've done, but still is quite weak. She stands up and grabs onto Wolfrel, and she goes, I've seen the entrance. It's not too far, but it's awfully cold. I'm so cold.
I try to take off the coat and give her the coat and say, I picked up this coat for you.
You remove the coat.
Yeah.
Can you give me a wisdom saving throw?
I can.
You begin to try and undo the coat, but then you sort of think, oh no, wait, there's one more. There were 6. There were 6 coats. I don't need to give this coat away.
Let's try to take mine off and give it to her.
Same thing, wisdom saving throw, please. Yeah, you begin to you undo 2 buttons, and as you undo 2 buttons, suddenly like there's this breeze across the river, like the chasm that you're standing across, like you're in the middle of this bridge, and this icy wind just like, and it gets you underneath the coat, and you like feel this unearthly shiver, and you just button it back up, seeking its warmth, and hug yourself for a moment, and you suddenly think, Ia needs a coat. There's another coat in the room. Ia, there's a coat.
That was the coat that Fisk. That was the coat that Fisk. Jammy. Yeah. So it's going to be too short for her now, right? Be more like a shearling jacket. Rather than a full-length cloak. Could be better than nothing. Though, maybe.
So you guys are still in the middle of this bridge. You move back to Fisk and Esmeralda.
Yeah, we'll help Ia back into the room so she's not exposed to the cold. Grab her and move her back in.
Okay.
And we'll sit her down on a bedroll. And we can put what's left of the cloak, just kind of put it on top of it to try and keep her warm. Well, not physically putting it on. Something's got to be better than nothing, right?
She basically sits into the cloak and she goes, oh, this is so much better. And she just sits up and puts her arms through. But like you said, it's sort of like at a bit of an odd angle, but it seems sufficiently long enough to cover most of her upper torso. How Fisk cut it was both too short and too long, so it's a bit of an angle. But she seems to sort of just sort of warm into it. And I shall now adjust her character sheet. And permanently remove 1 constitution point. So that's the way we do it.
Soul to the dark side. Soul to the dark side. That's how I see it.
Yeah,
Madam.
she's a
That's how I see it.
so, Constitution.
Let's all huddle together and try and stay warm. Together and try and stay warm. Now that she's here, we can go down. That she's here, we can go down to the castle together. Sorry, castle, the tower together.
Right.
So
So
there's no
what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop
on the
us
top.
there for tonight. You're all back together.
Okay.
It is just after lunchtime, and you all have coats, and the rock is taken back off.
Sweet.
All right.
Okay. So
Thanks, guys.
we'll leave it at head off to the tower.
Mhm.
Thanks, Doug. That was really good. That was fun with the rock.
Yeah, lucky save, Nikki. I thought, fuck, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to take over Esmeralda. What are you going to do? Oh my god.
Oh,
But-
so did I.
Good save in the
Yeah.
end.
And we didn't kill Ia by letting her jump on the rock, so that's also good.
Yeah, she's a bit frozen. She's at level 3 exhaustion, so disadvantages on attack and saving throws, speed is halved, and she has disadvantage on any other check. So that's where she's at.
Let me write that down. Free exhaustion.
Yeah. Alright,
Okay.
cool.
But she knows where the entrance is. But she knows where the entrance is.
Even more important. Even more important.
Thanks, guys.
Right.